Tustin, Edison, Fountain Valley was new to the top 10 this week. Capo Valley dropped down to number 9 after their big tie you saw here last Friday night live on OCN. And there is Dana Hills moving in. We had a big tie. Dana Hills and a couple of the other teams that also received votes crushed Esperanza last week, 38-14. They were looking to show that they're worthy of their lofty spot in the OCN poll and took on the Western Pioneers, who lost a tight one to Loera in week 1 and came into tonight 1-1. Rancho Owls head coach Doug Case, he knows the words on the sideline. Rain had stopped falling for a good part in this first quarter. Rancho's David Vickers, watch him, count him, 10, that's 20. He's moving them, he's still going, 85 yards. 6-0 Vaqueros. Wow. This was kind of your typical rainy week 3 kind of night. And what that means is there were 8 turnovers. 8 of them. Wow. Rancho with the advantage in that category. Sean Young had a couple of interceptions in the first half as the Vaquero defense held Western to 51 total yards offense, 6-0 Rancho at halftime. And that was exactly the kind of night we expected from a wet evening out and around Orange County. Third quarter, Rancho up 14-0. David Vickers, the running back, who's combining with Alex Blanco for 494 yards and 9 TDs coming in. 45-yard interception return. Well, no, that's actually that set up, excuse me, George Gonzalez to Sean Young, 20-0 Vaqueros. Rancho Alamitos wins it 27-0.
So that's our goal, is just keep on climbing our mountain, just keep on climbing until we get to the top, 14-0.
Well, both sides of the ball, we just got to get more intense. We didn't have any intensity or emotion tonight, and we can't just go through the motions. So we got to prepare better for the football game as individuals, and then we can play as a unit better.
2 unbeatens from the playoffs a year ago, 2-0 this year, rather. Loera at Veterans Stadium in Long.
The Los Angeles Times High School Sports Show. Today's show is brought to you by Lou Webb's Automotive Group and Pillsbury Green Giant.
Hi, how are you? And welcome to week 4 of the Los Angeles Times High School Sports Show. I'm Jake Downey in for Thomas Bonk. He's on assignment in Spain covering the Ryder Cup for the Times. Coming up in the next half hour, not only football highlights from around the Southland, but you'll meet maybe the smartest offensive line in the country. The best prep water polo is played right here in Southern California. We've got your highlights. Plus, we'll take you to one of the biggest girls volleyball tournaments in the neighborhood. But off the top, another student athlete, and it's hard to say which half of that phrase to emphasize. Crescenta Valley's Michelle Greco has the grades to go to college almost anywhere, and the basketball skills to get the school to pay for it. So what does she do in the off-season?
I really enjoy playing tennis. I mean, I play tennis for a variety in my life, but I really enjoy it.
And people enjoy Michelle Greco.
Her peers respect her, and her peers have no problem with them being put out a little or them being stepped aside for Michelle.
In tennis, it's all on me. If I win, it's because of me, and if I lose, I have nobody to blame besides myself.
Against Alhambra, all wins. As Crescenta Valley's #1 singles player, this was the score in each of Michelle's 3 sets. Tennis is what Michelle does each fall, but it's not her first love. What is? Basketball, and it's really what's going to be her ticket to a college scholarship.
I love the competition. It's just great playing against 5 other girls that are aggressive, that are coming after me.
And colleges are coming after Michelle. Why? She's averaging 25 points in the gym and 3.3 on a scale of 4 in the class. That means she's admission friendly. And right now she's welcoming the stampede of coaches to the Greco house. Pacific comes in on this night.
It's just coming back from my tennis game, my parents getting off work, you know, so just gonna have dessert.
You know, UCLA comes Thursday, you gonna make them dinner?
I don't know, it all depends, yeah. I wouldn't mind going out to dinner with them.
The menu and location varies, and so does her ultimate choice for college.
Wherever she goes, I want to see her have a chance to win a national championship, and I think she could add a lot to any program out there.
One of my interests, like majoring in, would be business. I've always been intrigued with business, and I'm taking an accounting class right now, and so maybe if sports didn't work out, I could become an accountant.
Or she could use it to add up the money made in the game. It's now possible with 2 women's pro leagues in business.
I'm just so excited knowing that, you know, for once, if, you know, I have a great college career, I could actually move on and continue playing something I love while getting paid. You know, I can't think of anything better than having that opportunity.
If you can't coach Michelle Greco, you need to get another job. 1, 2, 3.
So with girls prep tennis up and running at a court near you, let's check out where the coaches rank the top 5 teams in each division. And when we come back, football. Our Lou Webb Big Game takes us to Orange County this week. The Los Angeles Times High School Sports Show rolls on.
I think you're not respected.
You're watching Los Angeles Times High School Sports Show!
All teams remember their last game of the season, and Rancho Alamitos sure does. Last year, they thought they had the team in Division 8. They were a perfect 12-0 until crash landing in the CIF semifinals. So in '97, Rancho's unbeaten entering Week 3 and hosting Western of Anaheim, and this is our Lou Webb Big Game. No score early on. Rancho Alamitos on their 16. That's David Vickers squeezing through a scrimmage, and bye-bye from 84. That makes it 6-0 Rancho. They would miss the extra point, and you know what? It stayed 6-0 until the 4th quarter. That's when the other half of Rancho's running tandem, Alex Blanco, scores from 29. Part of 132 yards on the night for him. It's 12-0 Vaqueros. And hey, when it's 12-0, you go for 2. George Gonzalez rolls and zips it to Eric Camarillo. And hey, this is the way you celebrate. You give the ball to the zebra. It's 14-0 Rancho. Western's still in the game at this point and trying to make it closer. Jason Bauman to Brandon DeForest, 23 yards to the 45, but the guys in white don't get much farther upfield, and they had to give the ball away. So coming back this way, Gonzalez from the Western 36 to Sean Young. He runs under the rainbow, juggles, and scores. Guys in green lead 20-0 after they missed the extra point again. On the following kickoff, this is maybe why you don't want to be a return man. Cesar Valdivia of Western gets hogtied by about 7 guys. Watch at the end of the play as someone rips his helmet off. Good thing for Cesar, his head wasn't in the helmet at the time. He just says, thanks, I was looking for my hat. Later on, Bauman is looking for anybody wearing a white shirt. Problem is, he finds a guy in a green shirt. It's the aforementioned Mr. Vickers. 2 interceptions to go with his 2 touchdowns. Wait a minute, 2? I've only shown you 1. Okay, now I'm showing you 2. He's gone from 29 to make it 27-0. Vickers with 208 yards on the night. This was a Rancho romp. With a slight drizzle before game time and a little bit of moisture during the game, this thing was not just a little bit slippery. Guys were sliding all over the place, and you could find clumps of grass like this everywhere.
Yeah, the conditions weren't perfect, but hey, it's a football game. It's football weather. You got to get after it. It's the same conditions for both sides of the ball.
I don't know if our kids really believed that we could win at the beginning, which is, you know, unfortunate.
You know, the team came a little flat-footed out today. You know, today wasn't really a team-well game, you know. We came a little flat today, but second half we picked it up, and our team came victorious, and we played hard and played strong.
I just got to give credit to the offensive line and our receivers downfield blocking. They did a tremendous job this game. We came out sort of lethargic in the first quarter, but we poured it on in that 4th.
It was a great win. We're still 3-0, and we've obtained our goal. And you know, we want to be champions this year. The kids keep working hard and come out fired up for the first half, and we'll continue our success.
Hey, more football is coming at you after the break, high-octane style. CIF and city section games pack the high school blitz. Plus, we honor our athletes of the week. You're dialed in to the Los Angeles Times High School Sports Show. Home. 7 and 8 both win. Ayala scores 43. Sherman Oaks Notre Dame 44. Justin Fargas 3 TDs for the Knights. Canyon Springs may spring into next week's top 10 after they 0 Eisenhower. And Laguna Hills makes sure that their first week in the poll isn't their last as they whip Burbank. In the city section, lower scores for San Pedro and Westchester, but they both win. Sylmar will drop after losing in Antelope Valley, and Taft may take their place after beating Dorsey. Palisades and El Camino Real both win convincingly, and James Tilghman scores 4 touchdowns in Fremont's win. Crenshaw gets a 100-yard game from both Trevon Gorey and Danye Tucker as they win as well. Damien by a touchdown over Franklin, and Southgate may move up after beating Roosevelt. Okay, you saw our top 10s. How about our top 1s? Our Pillsbury Sports Giant Athletes of the Week. Here's Lisa Suradomi.
This week's male honoree is Narbonne running back David Crockett. He found the end zone 6 times in his club's 55-25 win over Hollywood. David Crockett, our Pillsbury Sports Giant Male Athlete of the Week. Our female honoree is Crescenta Valley's Michelle Greco. One of the Southland's best in basketball, she's equally dangerous with a tennis racket. Against Alhambra, she dispatched all 3 opponents by 6-0 scores. Michelle Greco, our Pillsbury Sports Giant Female Athlete of the Week. Dominguez quarterback Jason Thomas is last week's male winner. He receives his trophy on campus this week in Compton after throwing for 2 scores and running for 2 more as the Dons beat up on Long Beach Jordan 42-6. Joining Jason is last week's female recipient, Yucaipa cross-country sensation Kimmy Welsh. Kimmy with the best time among the girls at a big meet in Laguna Hills, and also receiving her award among friends and teammates. Congratulations to all Pillsbury Sports Giant Athletes of the Week.
We've been dry on this show for too long. Let's get wet. Here's some water polo highlights from
Park Boulevard, Suite 220, Santa Monica, California 90405.